The Bible speaks of a time of great tribulation, a period of unprecedented turmoil and judgment upon the earth. At the heart of this prophecy ride the four horsemen of the apocalypse, harbingers of chaos and destruction. From the depths of the abyss they will emerge, each horseman representing a distinct facet of judgment. The first, astride a white horse, will bring forth conquest and false hope, paving the way for the horrors to come. The Book of Revelation, a text steeped in symbolism and prophecy, provides a chilling account of their coming. It speaks of their arrival as a sign of the end times, a precursor to the final judgment. Revelation 6 verse 2 paints a chilling picture. I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest. This is the first horseman, the harbinger of a new world order, a world seemingly bathed in the pure light of progress and peace, but in reality, shrouded in the encroaching shadows of deception. The crown bestowed upon this rider is not a symbol of divine right but of usurped authority. It represents his ambition to supplant God, to establish himself as the ultimate power in the world. The peace he offers will be a false peace, a temporary reprieve from chaos bought at the price of freedom and truth. He will broker treaties and forge alliances, not for the sake of lasting harmony, but to consolidate his power and eliminate his rivals. The second horseman, astride a fiery red steed, embodies the unbridled fury of war. He is a harbinger of chaos, a bringer of bloodshed and strife, his presence a crimson stain upon the fabric of civilization. Where the first horseman, the deceiver, conquers through manipulation and false promises, the second horseman revels in the raw, visceral power of conflict. The second horseman's power lies not just in his ability to incite violence but also in his mastery of division. He understands the fault lines that run through human society, the prejudices and resentments that fester beneath the surface of civility. The world becomes a battleground, a canvas upon which the second horseman paints his masterpiece of destruction. Cities, once symbols of human achievement, are reduced to rubble. The third horseman emerges not amidst the clamor of war but in the eerie silence of a world drained of its vitality. He rides a black horse, a stark contrast to the fiery red of war, yet infinitely more insidious. In his hand, the rider holds a pair of scales, not to dispense justice, but to highlight the cruel irony of his reign. They represent the stark economic disparity that defines his era, a world where the wealthy feast on delicacies, while the poor scavenge for scraps. The Black Horseman's arrival heralds a global economic collapse, a disintegration of the systems that once governed trade and commerce. Currencies, once symbols of stability and prosperity, become worthless, their value plummeting with each passing day. The very foundations of society crumble as the relentless pressure of inflation crushes the hopes and dreams of millions. Those who once enjoyed a comfortable existence find themselves thrust into poverty, their savings wiped out, their futures uncertain. The scarcity extends beyond food, encompassing essential goods and services. Medicine becomes scarce, hospitals overflow with the sick and dying, and the fabric of society begins to unravel. Crime rates soar as desperation drives people to desperate measures. Trust, once a cornerstone of civilization, evaporates in the face of such widespread suffering. The social contract, already strained by war and deceit, shatters completely under the weight of famine. The Black Horseman's reign is a time of great social upheaval, a crucible that tests the very limits of human endurance. It is a time when the veneer of civilization is stripped away, revealing the raw instincts that lie beneath. The strong prey on the weak, the desperate resort to violence, and the very bonds of family and community are tested to their breaking point. Yet, even in the midst of such despair, the Bible offers a glimmer of hope. The Black Horseman, though a harbinger of suffering, is not the final word. His reign, though terrifying, is but a prelude to the ultimate triumph of good over evil, of life over death. The scriptures remind us that even in the darkest of times, God's love and mercy endure. Those who place their faith in Him will find solace and strength, even as the world around them crumbles. They will be sustained by their faith, their spirits nourished by the promise of a better tomorrow. For beyond the horizon of despair, a new dawn awaits, a dawn heralded by the return of the King of Kings, a dawn that will banish the darkness and usher in an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. The Black Horseman's ride, though terrifying, serves as a stark reminder of the temporal nature of this world and the eternal significance of the next. It is a call to repentance, a summons to turn away from the emptiness of worldly pursuits and embrace the enduring love of God. For in His embrace, even in the midst of famine, we find true sustenance, a sustenance that nourishes not just the body but the soul as well. As the black horse of famine continues its relentless march, casting a pall over the earth, a new horror emerges from the abyss. The fourth seal is broken, and from the chaos steps a sickly, pale green horse, the color of decay, the shade of death itself. Its rider, Death, needs no embellishment. His presence heralds unimaginable suffering. Revelation chapter 6 verses 7-8 describe this chilling entrance. I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades followed close behind him. They were given power over a fourth of the earth to kill by sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. Death's arrival does not herald a single catastrophic event, but a slow, agonizing unraveling of the very fabric of life. Where war and famine leave visible scars, Death's touch is insidious, seeping into every crevice of existence, leaving a trail of silent suffering in its wake. The air grows heavy with the stench of decay, the sweet, cloying aroma of rot, a constant reminder of his dominion. Graves are dug hastily, overflowing with the victims of his touch. The sword, unleashed by the Red Rider, continues its bloody work, but now it is joined by new horrors. Plague sweeps across the land, a silent killer that respects no borders, no social standing. Cities, once bustling hubs of commerce and culture, become breeding grounds for disease, their streets littered with the sick and dying. Those who remain huddle in fear, their pleas for mercy drowned out by the coughs of the afflicted and the wails of the bereaved. Famine, having weakened the population, now works in concert with disease, creating a macabre synergy of suffering. Bodies, once robust and full of life, are reduced to skeletal frames, their eyes hollow with hunger and despair. The very act of survival becomes an excruciating ordeal, a desperate struggle against the relentless onslaught of death's minions. Hope, once a flickering candle in the darkness, sputters and dies, extinguished by the sheer overwhelming magnitude of despair. The wild beasts of the earth, driven to madness by the disruption of the natural order, add to the carnage. Packs of starving wolves roam the countryside, no longer fearing the presence of man. Rats, fattened on the corpses of the fallen, spread disease with impunity. The very creatures that once coexisted with humanity are now instruments of death's grim symphony, their presence a chilling reminder of the fragility of life in the face of such overwhelming chaos. But death's reach extends beyond physical affliction. He preys on the minds of the survivors, sowing seeds of despair and hopelessness. The world, once familiar and comforting, becomes alien and terrifying, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the inevitability of death. The social bonds already frayed by war and famine snap entirely under the weight of such widespread grief. Trust becomes a distant memory, replaced by suspicion and paranoia. The fourth horseman's reign is a stark testament to the fleeting nature of earthly existence. He is the great equalizer, reminding us that wealth, power, and status offer no protection from the cold embrace of the grave. His presence is a chilling whisper of our own mortality, a stark reminder that our time on this earth is finite, our deeds but ripples in the vast ocean of time. The images conjured by the four horsemen are undeniably terrifying. Conquest, war, famine, death. These are not mere words but chilling echoes of human history's darkest chapters. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, to allow fear to grip our hearts as we witness the world seemingly teetering on the precipice of chaos. The news cycles blare out stories of conflict, economic instability, and natural disasters, each headline a grim reminder of the prophetic imagery woven into the very fabric of Revelation. Yet, even as the shadows of the horsemen lengthen across the world, we must remember that we are not defined by fear. The scriptures do not offer these prophecies to paralyze us with terror, but to awaken us to the urgency of our times. They are a call to action, a summons to stand firm in our faith when the world around us seems to crumble. For those who have placed their trust in Jesus Christ, the horsemen, though terrifying, are not harbingers of the end, but messengers reminding us of our true home. If you have food on your table tonight, a roof over your head, and loved ones surrounding you, pause for a moment and give thanks. These blessings, so often taken for granted, are stark reminders of God's provision in a world where many go without. Let gratitude fill your heart, not for the things themselves, but for the love they represent, the love of a God who cares for his children even amidst the darkest of storms. The world may offer fleeting comforts, temporary distractions from the harsh realities of our fallen nature, but true peace, lasting hope, and unwavering security are found not in material possessions or worldly achievements, but in the unwavering embrace of our Creator. The horsemen may ride, but their power is ultimately subservient to the will of God. He remains sovereign, his throne unshaken by the storms that rage around us. The Book of Psalms, a collection of prayers and hymns penned in times of both joy and despair, offers timeless wisdom for navigating seasons of uncertainty. Psalm 46 verses 1-3 reminds us, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. These are not empty words meant to provide shallow comfort. They are battle cries of faith, declarations of trust in a God who transcends the limitations of our earthly understanding. When fear threatens to consume you, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, remember that you are not alone. God is with you, not as a distant observer but as an active participant in your life. He sees your struggles, hears your cries, and longs to envelop you in his love. Draw near to him in prayer, pour out your heart to him, and allow his peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, to guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. The four horsemen of the apocalypse remind us of the brokenness of our world, the consequences of our rebellion against God, and the presence of evil. They paint a bleak picture for those who reject God's salvation through Jesus Christ. The world may dismiss these prophecies as myths, but deep down, even skeptics feel unease. For believers, there is no need for fear. We embrace the light that shines in the shadows. The horsemen may ride, but their reign is not the end. Their power is subservient to the one true God, the Alpha and the Omega. He holds the reins of history. The book of Revelation is a message of hope. No matter how dark the night, God is still on his throne. He has already secured the victory. The horsemen cannot touch those who take refuge in him. Romans 8 verses 38-39. This is not a call for passive resignation, but a call to courageous action. We are called to be beacons of hope, vessels of his love and grace. The horsemen may sow chaos, but we are called to be peacemakers, bridge builders, and light bearers, reflecting his glory even in the darkest valleys. The story of the four horsemen is about redemption and renewal. This world, with all its pain, is not our final destination. We have a hope rooted in the promise of a new heaven and a new earth. Let us cling to the truth that God is in control and his plans are for our good and his glory. The victory has already been won, and we can face the future with confidence.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it, leave a comment, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to not miss any videos like this one.